Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you work at a digital agency or manage technical SEO, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You log into Google Search Console and suddenly half the metrics are failing, the dashboard is flashing red, and the panic sets in. Well, today we are going to change that narrative completely. We're diving deep into diagnosing and fixing the most common core Web Vitals failures once and for all.
Ouch. This quote perfectly captures the epidemic we're seeing right now. Websites are literally sick. Metrics blur together, and honestly, most agencies are completely paralyzed by where to even start their triage. You're hit with this alphabet soup of acronyms, LCP, INP, CLS, and the fixes for each are entirely different. Instead of just guessing, we need a precise medical-grade diagnostic process.
So, here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the overarching Core Web Vitals challenge. Then, we're going to triage LCP, CLS, and INP going metric by metric. And finally, we'll prescribe the ultimate fix blueprint. We are keeping this fast, focused, and entirely actionable.
Let's start with Section 1, the Core Web Vitals Challenge. We'll be drawing directly from Harper Media Group's 10-part diagnostic framework built specifically for digital agencies.
Okay, let's dive into this. Whether you are an SEO manager trying to explain a sudden drop in rankings or a developer trying to optimize a brand new build, you absolutely need a systematic diagnostic process. You need to be able to move from raw field data to the root cause and finally to an actionable fix, completely free of fluff and jargon. When you have a structured process like this, you stop guessing and start proving your value to your clients before they even notice there's a problem.
Moving right along to Section 2. LCP, or the first impression. This is usually the easiest failure point to spot, but man, it causes the most immediate damage.
The crucial point to understand here is that failing this 2.5-second threshold doesn't just ding your Google rankings, it outright kills your first impression. Research consistently shows that missing this mark can drop your conversion rates by up to 25%. Think about it. When a hero image takes 5 to 8 seconds to load, users are just staring at a blank space. And on mobile devices with slower connections, there's no way they're sticking around. They're going to bounce. This perfectly illustrates the contrast between the old, broken way of building pages and the right way. It's like night and day. The wrong way, holding your page hostage with massive 5-megabyte uncompressed JPEGs and synchronous CSS and JavaScript that completely block the page from painting. The right way is converting that hero image to a sub-100 kilobyte WebP format, telling the browser to preload it immediately, and deferring any scripts that aren't critical to that very first render.
So here's your exact rapid-fire SOP to fix LCP today. First, identify the exact element dragging you down in PageSpeed Insights. Second, compress the heck out of it using a free tool like Squoosh to export as a WebP. Third, add a preload link in the head of your HTML so the browser grabs it immediately. And finally, route your assets through a CDN like Cloudflare. This whole process takes maybe an hour, but the impact is massive.
All right, on to Section 3, CLS, or as I affectionately call it, the layout jitters.
We have all been there, right? It's incredibly frustrating. You're reading an article, you go to click a link or a button, and bam, the whole page jumps down and you accidentally click on an ad instead. This happens because a browser had absolutely zero space reserved for an image or an ad unit that finally decided to load late in the game. Google measures this, users absolutely hate it, and it makes the site feel completely broken. The prescription for this jitter? It's surprisingly simple. You actually don't need a massive code overhaul, you just need explicit width and height attributes on every single image across the site. This tells the browser exactly how much space to leave open while the image downloads. And for ads, just use CSS to reserve a minimum height for every ad slot before it even begins to load. It's truly the fastest CLS fix out there. Let's transition to Section 4, INP, covering interactivity and bloat. If LCP is about how fast the site looks, INP is about how fast the site feels when you actually try to use it. NIP officially replaced FID as a core metric back in 2024, and it's basically the silent killer of interactivity. It fails when a browser's main thread is just too clogged up by JavaScript bloat or third-party scripts to respond to a user's click within 200 milliseconds. When it fails, every click, tap, and keystroke gets queued up and delayed. If your site has a megabyte of unused JavaScript hanging around, your users are feeling that lag on literally every single interaction.
You can see the wrong approach here is letting chat widgets, marketing pixels, and A/B tests just steal precious main thread time right as the page loads. It's kind of like trying to run a sprint while carrying heavy luggage. The right approach systematically delays these scripts until after the user interacts, defers non-essential code, and dequeues unused WordPress plugins on pages where they simply aren't needed. To cure this INP bloat, you gotta record user interactions in the Chrome DevTools Performance panel. You're looking for those red bars, long tasks that take over 50 milliseconds to execute. Once you spot them, you delay the initialization of those heavy chat widgets, and you strip out plugin scripts from pages that don't actually use them. Like a WooCommerce cart script shouldn't be loading on your static About Us page, right? Now, to actually implement these specific fixes, you are going to need this exact toolkit. Chrome DevTools is your daily driver for sure, but I really want to highlight Request Map here. When a client pushes back and says they absolutely need their 15 tracking pixels loaded immediately, Request Map is a fantastic way to visually prove to them that all those forgotten external scripts are choking their site. Seeing that visual web of external domains wins the argument for you every single time.
Wondering about the timeline? Well, you don't have to fix everything overnight. You can grab massive quick wins, like deferring third-party scripts, in just a couple of hours. But those deeper architectural fixes, like code splitting a React application or setting up automated CSS purging, that might take your developers a few days. The trick is to start with the quick wins to show immediate progress.
Section 5. The Ultimate Fix Blueprint. Now that we've diagnosed LCP, CLS, and INP, let's talk about the actual implementation for your agency.
All of these highly actionable SOPs come directly from Harper Media Group. They provide a high-performance, white-label solution specifically for digital agencies worldwide. When you have clients demanding faster sites, but your internal team doesn't have the bandwidth to dive into complex code splitting, this is the exact blueprint for getting those technical challenges handled efficiently and professionally.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. As the web evolves, Google's performance standards are only going to get stricter. A faster, healthier website isn't just a nice SEO bonus anymore. It's the baseline expectation of the modern internet. So, are you going to keep guessing while those client dashboards flash red? Or are you ready to adopt a true diagnostic mindset and fix the web one click at a time? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and good luck out there.